What if the secret to living well after 60 wasn't hidden in a doctor's office or locked inside a bottle of pills? What if it was something quiet, something free, something you already have but forgot how powerful it could be? Imagine this. You wake up one morning and for the first time in a long while, you don't feel stiff. Your legs feel steady, your breath feels full, and your mind clear. It's not magic. It's not luck. It's the result of one small thing you chose to do every single day. Welcome to Beyond 60 Wisdom, dear everyone. If this is your first time here or you've been walking this journey with us for a while, we're so glad you're here. If you find something meaningful in today's message, consider subscribing. It's the best way to help this channel grow so we can keep bringing you more heartfelt, helpful stories. Now let's talk about something that might seem simple but could change everything. Movement. Not exercise, not workouts, not routines with timers and sweat, just movement. Gentle, steady, daily movement. The kind that says to your body, you still belong here. You see, when we stop moving, even just for a little while, our bodies notice. Muscles shrink, joints stiffen, balance fades. But when we keep moving, something incredible happens. Even in small doses, our body hears a different message. I'm still alive, I still care, I still want to be here. Think of Mr. Walter, 78, who takes the same walk every morning to the end of his block and back. Not for exercise, not for weight loss, just for the rhythm. He told me once, it's the only time of day I hear myself think, the only time I remember I'm still part of the world, and that little walk, it gives shape to his day, to his peace of mind, to his sense of self. You don't need to walk miles. You don't need fancy shoes or expensive tools. Sometimes, all it takes is standing up and sitting back down 5 times in a row, or circling your arms while you boil water, or rocking side to side while brushing your teeth. Every small movement adds up, and every time you move, you remind your body that it still has a job to do. Carry you through this beautiful, precious life you're still living. Even 5 minutes counts. Even stretching your legs in bed before you rise makes a difference. Because the truth is, your body isn't asking for perfection, it's asking for presence. It wants to feel needed, useful, awake. And if you've been still for a while, if movement feels like something that belongs in the past, I want you to know, it's never too late. Your body hasn't given up on you, it's just waiting for your signal. Let today be that signal. So I ask you, gently but clearly, will you give your body 5 minutes today? Just 5? To stretch, to sway, to move however you can? Because those 5 minutes, they're not small, they're a promise. Before we close, I'd love to hear your thoughts. Which of these feels more true for you right now? A, my body feels tired, and I'm not sure I can move much anymore. B, I believe small movements can still make a big difference, and I'm willing to try. Comment your answer below, A or B, and tell me why. Your voice matters here. There's something beautiful about a simple meal that doesn't ask too much of you. No fancy ingredients, no complicated instructions, just real food that makes you feel good. As we grow older, eating should become simpler, not harder. But too often, food becomes confusing. We're told to follow this diet, cut out that ingredient, or chase some magical number on a scale. But the truth is, you don't need all that to feel well. You just need a nourishing routine that brings your body comfort, energy, and ease. Beyond 60 Wisdom, dear everyone, this is where we remember how powerful it can be to return to basics. Eating in your later years isn't about losing weight or looking a certain way. It's about supporting your body so it can support you back. When you choose meals that are gentle on your digestion and kind to your system, you're telling yourself, I care about how I feel, not just how I look. That's the kind of self-care that lasts. Let me tell you about Mary. She's 80, lives alone, and starts every single morning the same way. Warm oatmeal with a few blueberries, 1 boiled egg, and a mug of lemon water. To some it might seem plain, but to Mary, it's peace. I don't have to think about what's for breakfast, she says. I know it works for me. It helps me feel steady. That's the power of a routine, especially one that supports your body instead of surprising it. When your meals are predictable and made of real, whole foods, vegetables, fruits, simple grains, lean proteins, your body learns what to expect. Your digestion stays regular, your energy stays even, and your mind feels clearer. You don't need expensive powders or complicated meal plans. What you need is food that feels familiar, satisfying, and easy to prepare. Smaller meals, spaced throughout the day, can be more manageable than trying to eat too much at once. And drinking enough water? That's just as important as what you eat. As we age, our sense of thirst can fade, but our need for hydration does not. A glass of water with each meal, a herbal tea in the afternoon, maybe even setting a reminder nearby. These little habits keep your joints happier, your skin softer, and your mind more alert. None of this is about perfection. It's about consistency. A cookie now and then, a piece of chocolate on a cozy night, that's part of life too. But what you return to meal after meal should help you feel light, balanced, and well. Eating should never feel like punishment or confusion. It should feel like care, like listening to your body instead of fighting it, like giving yourself the tools to enjoy each day with a bit more clarity and a bit more comfort. So the next time you stand in your kitchen, take a breath. Choose what's kind. Choose what's simple. Choose what helps you feel like yourself again. Not overwhelmed, not restricted, just well. Food is not just fuel. It's memory, it's comfort, it's love on a plate, and you deserve that kind of love every single day. There's something sacred about the moment the day begins. That first breath after waking, the light creeping through the curtains, the quiet before the world stirs. And what you do in those first few moments, whether you stay in bed, rush through the morning, or take your time to get ready, can set the tone for everything that follows. As we grow older, the rhythm of life changes. The world may no longer demand that we get dressed for work or show up anywhere by 9, but that doesn't mean we stop showing up for ourselves. In fact, it may be more important now than ever. Taking care of your appearance, your hygiene, your clothes, your grooming isn't about vanity. It's about sending a message to yourself and to the world. I still matter. I still care. I still deserve to feel like me. Think of Roy. He's 76, retired, and lives alone. He hasn't had a scheduled meeting in years, but every morning he still shaves, still combs his hair, still puts on a clean, pressed shirt. Even if it's just me and the cat, he laughs, I want to feel like I'm starting the day on purpose. And you know what? He's onto something. That simple act, done quietly with care, is a ritual of self-respect. When we neglect ourselves physically, it's not just about the body, it affects how we feel inside. Staying in the same clothes for days, skipping showers, or brushing aside those little routines, it can make you feel invisible, like even to yourself. But when you take a moment to wash your face, brush your teeth, put on something clean and comfortable, even if you're not going anywhere, you're telling yourself that this day still matters, and so do you. Of course, it gets harder with time. Maybe your hands aren't as steady, or bending over feels more difficult than it used to. That's real. And it's okay to adapt. Use a shower chair. Lay out clothes the night before. Ask for help when needed. Caring for yourself in this way isn't about doing it like you used to. It's about doing what works now and refusing to give up the habit. Because the truth is, how you present yourself often shapes how others respond to you. When you carry yourself with a sense of care, not because you have to, but because you choose to, people notice. They see someone who hasn't disappeared into age, but someone who still shows up, someone who still lives with intention. And there's joy in it too. A favorite sweater that makes you feel cozy, a spritz of cologne that brings back memories, a fresh haircut that lifts your spirit. These aren't luxuries, they're ways of staying connected to your sense of identity, your past, and your pride. So tomorrow morning, take a little extra time. Look in the mirror. Not to judge, but to acknowledge the person looking back, the years they've lived, the storms they've weathered, the quiet strength they carry. And then do one small thing to say, I still care. Because you do matter. You always have. And no matter how old you are, it's never too late to start the day with dignity. There's something special about staying curious. It's a quiet kind of power, the kind that doesn't need applause or recognition. It's what keeps the mind alive, no matter your age. You see, the brain is not like a machine that wears out the more you use it. It's more like a garden. The more you tend to it, the more it grows. As we grow older, people talk a lot about how the body changes. The aches, the slower pace, but we don't talk enough about how important it is to keep our minds moving too. Not racing, not stressed, just gently active. just awake. That kind of mental engagement doesn't need to be complicated. It just needs to be steady. Think about Lillian, a retired school teacher who's now 75. Every morning, she spends 30 minutes translating old journal entries she once wrote in French. It's not about getting it perfect, she says. It's about connecting with a part of me I thought I left behind. And that's the gift. Not just sharper memory or better focus, but a sense of purpose. Your brain wants to be used. It loves to solve small puzzles, to remember names, to learn something new, even if it's just a new recipe or how to use the settings on your phone. When you challenge your mind, you remind yourself that growth doesn't stop with age. In fact, it can deepen. That doesn't mean you need to study books all day or learn a new language. It might be as simple as reading an article and talking about it with a neighbor, watching a documentary and writing down a few thoughts, playing a memory game with your grandchild. Even recalling a favorite story from your past and retelling it out loud helps keep your mind engaged. What matters is that you keep asking questions, that you keep exploring, not just the world, but yourself. Because the moment we stop asking, stop wondering, is often the moment we start to feel disconnected. Not because we've gotten older, but because we've stopped feeding the part of us that loves to learn. Staying mentally active also has another gift. It helps you feel useful. It gives structure to your day, something to look forward to. And more than that, it reminds you that you still have something to offer, not just to yourself, but to those around you. So don't be afraid to pick up a new interest, even if it's small. Start a journal, do a crossword, ask your grandchildren to teach you a game they love, or teach them one you used to enjoy. That kind of exchange doesn't just benefit your brain, it builds connection. It brings joy. You don't need to be an expert at anything. You just need to be open. Because your brain is not done yet. You are not done yet. And every time you take a moment to stretch your mind, just like stretching your body, you are saying, I am still here. I am still growing. That's not just aging well. That's aging with intention, with curiosity, and with grace. There's a quiet kind of bravery in asking for help. It's not loud. It doesn't shout. But it takes a deep kind of strength to look at your life and say, I can't do this part alone. For many of us, especially as we get older, asking for help can feel like giving something up, like losing a piece of independence we've spent decades building. But what if asking for help isn't weakness at all? What if it's wisdom? Somewhere along the way, many of us were taught to carry everything ourselves, to tough it out, to keep going no matter what. But aging, when done with grace, isn't about pretending we can still do it all. It's about knowing what truly matters and choosing to protect it. Asking for help doesn't mean you failed. It means you know your limits and you're brave enough to protect your health, your safety, and your peace of mind. That's something to admire, not hide. When you let others step in, whether it's to reach something high, carry something heavy, or simply sit beside you during a hard moment, you open the door to connection. Think of Calvin. He's 84, and for years he did all the yard work himself. It made him feel strong, capable. But one day, he fell pulling a garbage bin and hurt his back. After that, he started asking his grandson to help once a week. At first, it felt uncomfortable, but over time, those visits turned into laughter, long talks, and a closeness they'd never shared before. Calvin didn't lose independence. He gained a bond. When you ask someone to help you, you're not being a burden. You're offering trust, and more often than not, the people who love you want to help. They want to be needed. They want to show up. Letting them do that is a gift, not just to you, but to them. And if you don't have family nearby, you're not alone. Communities, neighbors, support groups, and kind strangers exist all around us. Sometimes it starts with a small question at the grocery store, a friendly wave across the street, or joining a group at your local center. Connection isn't always built overnight, but it begins the moment you reach out. Letting someone help with the little things gives you more energy for the big things, more peace, more focus, more time to spend doing what you love. And maybe most important, it gives you the comfort of knowing you're not going through life alone. You've spent so much of your life taking care of others. Let someone return the favor. Let yourself rest when needed. Let yourself be supported, not because you can't do it alone, but because life is richer when shared. You are not less because you need a hand. You are not weaker because you accept support. You are wise enough to know that strength doesn't always mean doing everything. Sometimes it means knowing when to stop, when to ask, and when to let love in. That is courage. That is grace. And that is what real dignity looks like. If this video spoke to your heart, even in a quiet way, we'd be so grateful if you take a moment to subscribe to Beyond 60 Wisdom. Your support helps us keep going, helps us keep creating, and reminds us that these stories matter to someone out there, maybe to you. If something here made you think, or feel, or remember something from your own life, we'd love for you to leave a comment. Share your thoughts, your reflections, or even just a few words about how you're doing today. We read every message, and your voice truly matters to us. We're here to walk beside you with more stories, more gentle reminders, and more quiet encouragement day by day. The more we hear from you, the more we understand what truly supports and inspires this community. So let's keep the conversation going. Thank you, from the bottom of our hearts, for spending your time here with us. We know you have many choices in what to watch and listen to. The fact that you chose us means more than you know. Let's keep sharing, let's keep growing, and let's keep reminding each other that life, even in its later chapters, is still full of meaning, beauty, and connection. We're honored to be part of your day.